I said, I'm confident that we'll be able to add 25 to 30% to our top line in the service department by proactively identifying any service issues. My name's Tyler, man. I'm only a small part of AdvanceTrac. I partnered with Brian Peters. We've worked together for quite a few years and finally came together to start this. We have a rental fleet of heavy dirt equipment with a field service team to support not only our stuff but the customers that we serve. Before we started using Activate, as a young business, it was crucial for us that we stay as utilized as possible, and that oftentimes translates to things moving very fast and processes having to kind of keep up with what we're doing. And like I said, before we were using Activate, there was a lot of things that fell through the cracks. We were just trying to get equipment out and get it on rent. Oftentimes inspections would fall by the way. I'm not going to say fall completely by the wayside, but maybe not be as thorough as we needed to be, and that left us with problems with our own equipment that we couldn't trace back to, the source, and we end up having to eat that cost. So those things add up, and becomes quite hard to be profitable when you're not tracking that kind of stuff. Specifically, we had a big wheel loader one time that. It's a big machine for us, and it's really important. Like I said earlier, it's really important that it stays out and stays on rent. And we had it rented like three or four rentals back to back, and we just moved them directly. And then we got the machine back at the end, and it had bent forks, it had a gash in the tire, it had a handful of things that we couldn't go back and say, normally that's something that a customer that did it would own up to, but you have to have perfect processes and be able to demonstrate that. And if we can't provide, the customers that we work for expect those processes to be perfect. And if you go back to somebody and say, hey, we got a machine back, it's got bent forks and a cut in the tire and a bent hood, the first thing that they're going to say is, okay, well, that's great, we'll pay for it, send me the before pictures. And when you're rushing through those processes, you have to eat it, and there's not much of a conversation to be had. So well, some of the things that got us interested in Activate from the beginning was just the ease of use across all channels in our business, whether it's Brian from his owner's seat or me from the kind of the operations seat, or even our field technicians that are out, actually doing the inspections. We needed something that everybody could use and everybody could communicate with seamlessly, and that's what we found. We have a plethora of manufacturers that we represent, and everybody has their own telematics. And one of the biggest appeals of Activate is that it brought everything under the same umbrella. So we weren't having to go check our Vision Link stuff for our CAT machines and our Komatsu stuff for our brought everything. We can all look at everything on one tab and keep everything organized. With using Activate, the short-term expectation is that we are going to be on top of things and keep up with the expenses, track the expenses that we incur to each machine that they go to, so that we can really understand what we're doing from investment to divestment with these machines. It's important that we don't miss anything that is going to cost us money along the way. And that goes with maintenance, repairs when they come back from rents. It allows us to keep up with our PM schedules, and we just want to maintain. We want our equipment to maintain the highest possible value, so that we're as profitable as we can from the start to the end when we get rid of things. Like I said, I'm confident that we'll be able to add 25 to 30% to our top line in the service department by proactively identifying any service issues, whether it's an inspection for a machine. Or taking a few additional steps on site while we're already there looking at a machine. What we found is that probably better than 75% of the things that we react to could have been avoided if with a little bit of proactive measure, and we expect that that's going to go a long way with our customers.